Andrew Santino.
I'm Bobby Lay.
And welcome to the Bad Game Show.
It's the Bad Game Show.
And once again, thank you to Bobby's mom.
Back off. I mess you up.
Let's start this game. Each of you guys write down the slang term for what we're pointing at. What's this right here, guys?
What is this right here?
Kevin Spacey, Epstein, Weinstein. What do they have in common?
They're all scumbags.
Incorrect. These are all classic New York guys.
Oh my God.
Is this the game where we have to figure out what the F your mother is saying?
How old is my f***ing
I'm
wife?
gonna put as many marshmallows as I can in Bobby Lee's mouth.
If you were in prison, dude,
Easy access.
I am thoroughly aroused.
Is this your son?
Oh my God, how did I get here?
I'm so thrilled that I'm only a lesbian.
Oh, wow!
Yeah.
Stop hitting on my mom, okay?
Our next game. Time to get handsy. Buzz in before he does, because it's a f***ing game show.
I nailed it! Woo!
January
9/11! Show, you asshole.
Was that a good, do you consider that a good episode, or what's the barometer?
Welcome back to Whiskey Ginger, a wave series presented by Fanduel. Hey, Whisk Ginger fans, I am doing one more show. One more show. August 7th, I'm going to be taking myself to St. Charles, Missouri, a.k.a. St. Louis. I'll be there August 7th. Go to andrewsantino.com for those tickets. andrewsantino.com.
In here, we pour whisk, 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 whisk.
You were that creature in the ginger beard.
Sturdy and ginger.
Like vampires, the ginger gene is a curse.
Gingers are beautiful.
You owe me $5 for the whiskey and $75 for the horse.
Gingers? Oh, hell no.
This whiskey is excellent.
Ginger. I like gingers.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Whiskey Ginger. My guest today is one of my favorite people on earth. I say that for all my guests, but I mean it once again today. It's the return of Shane Mauss.
Hey.
We were talking heavily about Shanes prior to the episode because Shane said, how many Shanes do you have in your phone? And I said, I don't know. And we looked, and I think there was 7 or 8 that we just counted.
I'm a pathetic excuse of a Shane. I have less Shanes in my phone
Than I do.
Than you do. And Shanes are supposed to really stick
Bond
together.
because you're at war against.
The Shawns.
The Shawns.
Yeah, they got the numbers. We're supposed to have the brains, but
You think
I
it's
don't
Shane
know.
over Sean? I would like to say, I would see, how many Shawns are in my life? I'm thinking of all my Shawns.
You got so many more Shawns.
I have way more Sean. My childhood best friend is Sean, and I got to tell you,
You just might be. I'm a little more of an introvert than you are, so that might be part of it.
here's the
But
irony.
still.
I'm probably more of an introvert than you think. It's
Yeah,
just I
yeah.
have to fake the funk
Yeah,
to like
you're-
live amongst humans.
Right,
You get to live in your van and do and party.
I do. My dream scenario is like I'm out on federal land somewhere where there hasn't been a human for like months,
Yeah.
and there's just no one around. I have no cell phone service. No one would hear it if I screamed or anything.
Or if you're getting
like,
attacked.
There's no. If I
You
want to
be on the show alone, right? That was the shit. We love that. All right, here we go. Sean's.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. That's a lot of Sean's. And
you're
all
just
of them
popular.
are SEAN. Yeah, but these are all walks of life for me. Some of these are business associates. Two of these are my closest friends. One of them is an old booker. One of them is a friend of a friend. I'm good with friends of a friend. Like if you introduce me to someone.
See, I won't take
Well,
someone's number.
if you said to
I
me,
won't.
if you said to me, hey, Santino, this guy, I really like this guy. He wants to come see you at a show, and then we'd have a beer afterwards. Because I like you so much, I assume, well, this guy's got to be good. Do you know what I mean? So I'll do the by osmosis.
I got 5 Shawns in my phone, but I was just DMing Shane Torres or 5 Shanes in my phone.
5 Shanes is not bad.
Not bad. Oh, one's me. I have 4. there's a Tor. I was just DMing Torres. I don't know. I feel like I keep up with the Shanes.
You keep up. And by the way, before we get too in depth, we're going to link it down below. This handsome gentleman has 2 specials right now on YouTube.
Yeah, something like that. 2
First
months
trip,
ago.
second trip, right?
It's trips.
Yeah.
First dose and second dose.
First dose and second dose,
It was
two
a lot
trips.
of like figuring out what. First, we're gonna go clickbaity and call the first one like LSD versus mushrooms because
Ooh.
it's fun rage baiting the psychedelic crowd because they have like very strong opinions about
Yeah.
the silliest shit. And then the second one was going to be DMT versus ketamine. And that was just to like.
Well, these are good titles for clicks.
Just
though.
for clicks,
Yeah.
but then they were scared about getting demonetized and stuff, which is a real thing. So that's the double-edged sword of
YouTube
doing psychedelic content generally.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'm like selling out everywhere, and then there's an algorithm change where they're like. Anything that even looks like it's promoting any kind of a thing, suddenly, like, I go from adding like 400-seat shows to suddenly I can't get 50 people in because
crazy.
it just happened.
And-
That's happened like twice in the 10 years or so that I've been doing some stuff in the psychedelic space.
I think
I
you're
do other shows too, but
The
whatever. I
psychedelic
just
shows
change
are
gears.
cruising right now, though.
Yeah, I mean, I think that it's a weird time. It was there was like this psychedelic renaissance when I did my first psychedelic show in like 2015, and that was like, oh my God, someone's talking about psychedelics on stage. Like, whoa, what
Right.
an edgy thing. And then there was kind of this psychedelic renaissance, and then COVID happened, and then it kind of opened up some stuff more, and there's been some of the decriminalization. And then like 2 or 3 years ago, everything started getting like really monetized,
Commercialized.
and stuff, commercialized.
Now my
and
aunt
it's
is
like-
microdosing, you know? Everything
and so
is...
now it's like it kind of like jumped the shark, but
it
now it's
did.
kind of like coming back a little bit. It's tough to tell. I don't know.
I still think you're at the you're in the corner of all of it. You're like one of the pillars of the psychedelic revolution of comedy. A lot of people talk about it. You and I have talked about it.
Yeah.
But I do think your grip on it is probably a little bit stronger than most because of your history.
Yeah.
You've had a good dance with it.
Yeah, I've had some really extreme experiences, and I've been in the space, and even though I don't research psychedelics, I'm just around
You
people
ingest
that
them.
do. I ingest them a lot, and so I'm always up to speed on what's going on out there, and then I also have like a very. For people that have had the kind of experiences, like I've been to a psych ward because of psychedelics. Most people that have had those types of experiences tend to skew like mystical and woohoo, and I'm like very science minded. So I have like a annoyingly grounded take on very extreme experiences for a lot of people in the psychedelic community's taste. They're like mad that I don't believe the experiences that I've had. They're like, this is proof that there's angels and things out there. I'm like, I don't think so. I think I lost my mind, actually.
I love that. That's like the elevator pitch that you're like I love psychedelics, but I'm against the entire community of psychedelics.
I was never in the community.
Well, I
started doing
think
shows.
it's because they take it so serious. Like we've talked on this show about this too. We talked to Phil Hanley pretty heavily. Like he's a deadhead. Do you know Phil Hanley?
Yeah.
He's a pretty big deadhead, and I very much like the Dead, but I never would ever say I'm a deadhead.
Yeah.
Because
no.
it's sacrilegious. It's like again because then they begin to like give you a pop quiz on how deep you are, and you're like, dude, I just like the music. But their culture is so. There's so many subcultures within the culture, and they're kind of all battling each other. Not in a negative way, but in like how far back do you go? How deep do you go? What shows do you like? How niche can you get? It's very wild.
Of course, I want everyone to watch my special and everything.
Everybody,
There's
please
a
watch
zillion
it.
specials. There's only so much time in a day. I get it. If you really want to amuse yourself, at least just go on my Instagram, go to a couple of the highlights from the specials, and then just start reading the comments of all the actually people in the psychedelic.
The amount of actuallys. Yeah. Well, actually, you know.
And it's also stuff that's like I actually kind of know, but that I have to I'm communicating to a wide audience these ideas. So I'm sorry that I said hits when I'm talking about LSD instead of saying like micrograms or something.
Whatever,
like
man.
these fucking
Whatever,
guys.
man.
It's just, it's so annoying. And then, but it's also the internet. You know, I go and I perform psychedelic shows, and part of the reason why I put together tours in the first place was because I experimented with a couple shows. I just like doing themed shows. I was like, these crowds are fucking amazing and so smart and curious and lovely people, and they're asking follow-up questions after the show. Like, that never happens.
Never.
And so it's so cool. And then, you know, then you get online and
Don't get online,
people online are the worst, and they're really, you know, the most extreme people in every crowd. And it's also the people that like don't go out in public as much, so they don't have the social skills, and they have more extreme beliefs, and they've told themselves that they have like this galaxy brain or whatever, because now they have like AI validating all of their big ideas about things, and so they really truly are the worst. But I find it so amusing.
Well, it's fascinating a little bit. You just can't get sucked into it, because otherwise it's a battle of the it's a battle of your self-confidence and your worth. You become kind of like beaten down by strangers for no reason. You're like, why am I letting this make me feel?
I mean,
if it's an argument, if it becomes this like...
Well, to me, it's like when they're right. Because sometimes there's like something where I'm like, ooh, that touched on something, actually.
That's probably true.
Those are the ones where I'm like, oh, dang, you know.
But a lot of times people just want to fight to fight. And also be in the world of comedy.
Mind as much.
You don't?
Nah.
I'm not interested. I want, you know, it makes me I'm like, I have a whole life I want to live. I don't want to fight.
Like giving people tips on social decorum.
I like this.
Like, you know, if you would have opened with this sentence instead of this, like, it wouldn't have came across as snarky, and people might have been more interested in what you had to say and the information that you were trying to convey there.
Teaching. Shane teaching. Well, wait. Also, I want to bring up, and we'll bring up the photo here of your van. We had the van out back, and we were going to maybe put it in one of the spots, but I thought, I don't know if it's going to fit. And then Shane was like, wait till you see the parallel job I just did. You left maybe a quarter inch on each side?
Something like that.
Amazing you were able to do that.
Well, it's one of the, so it was a big decision. I got it 2.5 years ago or something. I almost got one in 2019, and then COVID happened, blah, 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 but it had been on my mind for a while. But it was, I looked at RVs for a little while, thought about that route, and it's like, man, like I do a lot of indie venues and stuff, and finding places to park, and the gas mileage, and having the space is nice. And then I thought, maybe you get like a truck with a pull behind trailer that I can leave in a place and then take the truck into the gig or something. Yeah, thought of all those. And then the van situation was like a friend of a friend who let me, I was able to rent it for a month, and then if I decided to buy it, that money came off of what I was buying it
that's
for.
Kind of cool.
And the main thing was it fits in regular parking spots, because you can get the longer Sprinter,
right?
But then you're like, it's just then you might as well get a full RV.
The RVs are cool, but I feel like we've had family friends that have had them. There's more shit that breaks on RVs.
Yeah.
It's a lot of shit to go wrong. Like a lot of shit to go wrong.
Whereas Sprinters are the biggest van like in the world. Most countries, they don't even have anything except Sprinters. And so there's just so many, you know, they just have it down.
It's like a Honda Civic. It's like there's a billion of them.
And not only that, but there's like it's the #1 customized van. So there's all these like ready-made customized things that you could add to, I should have showed you the back to, but they're, you know, like some of the cabinets and stuff that you can just get like ready-made cabinets and stuff to pop in there, things on the back with all these little compartments and pockets. It's amazing.
Yeah, it is cool. I've seen some of I've gotten down the YouTube rabbit hole of like watching people's like super high-end custom versions of like they can make the amount of there's someone on there that they vlog every day when their partner goes to work. And every single day, it's like all right, he's off to work, and here's what I do for my day. Mm-hmm. And it's like incredible how much like you can fit into it. It's like clown car-y, where you're like, that's inside of there, and it like folds away and tucks, and somehow everything can get so compact down to like nothing that if you pulled it all out, which I think one episode I saw they pull everything out, it's like would fit in a 777 airplane. Like the amount of shit. You're like, where does all that shit go?
Yeah.
But there's little tricks and, like they all
There's
have.
things you can put on top. There's like these drawers that you can slide in the back. There's all, and having that much like I have a inflatable stand-up paddleboard in there. I have like rock climbing
That's
gear.
what I mean. It's crazy, dude.
And like pickleball stuff and all that. I'm like pretty active.
You have all your
person
gear,
and
everything you need.
Yeah.
If you could,
I have like 8 suits in there.
I don't even own 8 suits. That's well, you wear suits on stage.
Yeah.
So you have that. That was something I always was jealous of. As soon as I saw, there was a couple of guys back in the day that started wearing like dressing up for to do stand up or like looking more. And I was always like, oh man, I wonder if I'll get to a place where I want to do that. And then the older I got, I was like, nah, I can't do that.
I don't know what I think about it, honestly. Like, I like it because it like kind of feels silly. And
you wear psychedelic suits. You wear very like loud and fun.
So how that started was my first like big thing that I put together after COVID was a residency in Vegas at Area 15, which is kind of like this psychedelic like warehouse mall of sorts. They have a Meow Wolf Omega Mart in there, and they have. I was kind of inspired by the show because I was asked to host a conference there that had a 360-degree visual space, and I'd always wanted to add visuals to it, but I didn't know how to pull it off without making it like a PowerPoint presentation or whatever. And so my specials that I eventually made, we had 20 different artists in the psychedelic space make a bunch of visuals for it, and then a VJ, a video jockey, blending things in real time so that I didn't have to like follow a script and I could change up the order and structure. But I was like, I'm doing this whole psychedelic show with visuals in the psychedelic place in Vegas. And I'm like, I can't wear like regular clothes.
No.
And so I got a hold of a bunch of psychedelic artist friends and I was like, anyone out there can make me look like a psychedelic Willy Wonka or some shit like that, or like a DMT Jesus or something. And they're like, yeah, this freeborn design guy. So this guy out of San Francisco that makes a bunch of dope stuff.
So he makes all your suits?
Yeah. Some of them are off the rack, and then some of them are custom
Freeborn.
Too. Yeah.
Plug out.
Design.
Shout out to
Yeah,
Freeborn.
yeah.
Freeborn suit design, or is it just Freeborn?
Freeborn Designs.
Freeborn Designs.
I think if you use offer code TRIP or TRIPS or something, it's like something.
Use the offer code TRIP. Get yourself a cool suit.
Years ago, he gave me some offer code that I often forget.
Well, you should plug it.
Yeah, I should plug it. Yeah, dude. Offer code TRIP.
No, but you do it.
TRIP or TRIPS.
TRIP or TRIPS. Try both, and if neither of them work, too bad. Buy the suit anyway.
DM me.
Support this man.
Yeah.
No, I think, I never wanted to be like a guy who wears a suit on stage, but I do think like comedy is how it sounds coming out of you as a whole, and so part of you as a whole is how you present, and like your wardrobe is a part of. I mean,
it just all came together. Like the hair was. I mean, I'd done psychedelic shows when I was like the all-American looking.
You were an all-American boy, yeah.
And then this was just COVID. I made this like silly web series where it made sense for me to like where I couldn't get to a barber or something as part of the premise, and so I grew all this out, and then the first opportunity that I had outside of it was like, oh, I can do this Vegas residency with a psychedelic show. I wasn't planning on doing psychedelic shows. I'd already toured with that. And I was like, I think I'm done. And I'm like, oh, this is fucking cool. I want to do this and like add all the art and everything. That's like, that'll really finish the dream that I'm always living out my dreams from like 12 years ago.
Sure.
Like 12 years ago, me always would think what I'm doing is really cool. Present me always thinks what I'm doing is like, I don't know about this anymore.
Cool. I think it's very cool. I love your show. Like your show would be great at the Sphere. I know they got like that's such an interactive, immersive, like.
I just need to figure out how to fill about 20,000 more seats.
Not that big of a deal.
I can
you got
regularly.
It. You got it.
Bo Burnham produced my Sphere special, maybe, and then
you could do it.
Work.
They should have a baby Sphere. They should have one where
they do. They're making them.
Are they?
So yeah. They have ones that are like 1,000-seaters and stuff.
That's cool.
So I have a new show called Myth Understandings that I've been putting together for a while. And it's kind of science-inspired, philosophical, humorous show about the evolution of mythology and why our brains are prone to superstitions and these kind of mental models that helped hunter-gatherers that are mismatched with our modern world and leads to a lot of misinformation and disinformation, and why that stuff is like clickbaity. But it starts with like Greek and Roman mythology and hunter-gatherers and stuff. And so we built it for planetariums, and because domes are taking off and stuff. So that's the show that I'm working on now.
So because I did hear that the Sphere was planning on making other spheres in other big cities, like of the same size, but like, is the same company doing that, or this is just other companies making smaller little spheres?
Yeah, I don't know. There's one called Cosm, I think, that is making a few, but they're all much smaller scale. Like
we got a kid with the Googles. What does it say?
It's a Sphere Entertainment is developing mini spheres, smaller 5,000 to 6,000 capacity immersive venues planned for global expansion following the success of the 18,000 seat Vegas original.
Yeah.
A 6,000 seat mini sphere is planned for National Harbor, Maryland. These venues aim to reduce energy costs and operational complexity.
6,000 is still a lot of seats.
It's still a lot of seats.
It's a lot of seats.
Yeah. I mean, I don't have the poll, but I do have the, like, I've been working with artists for like 10 years and putting all this shit together, so I'm the only one that knows how to do it right now. Some other comedian can pay me I'll teach them how to do it.
That's fine. Or, well, you could do a psychedelic festival at a 5,000 theater. If you had many comics on it, then it's the best way to get that done. Right? Have people just come in and do stuff and create art for, because I was talking to, this is kind of crazy. I played in this golf tournament, and AJ McLean, who's of the Backstreet Boys, they're doing the Sphere, and I was like, who designed the art? And he's like, we're doing it. I was like, that's really cool. He's like, you're working with artists to get it done. I thought that's got to be like part of the most fun, because the songs they've worked on for, like, as any musician or artist, like when you tour an hour, you've already got the hour.
Yeah.
And I was like, how much more fun is that now you get to make the art that goes along with it? That's got to be like the most invigorating part of it.
So cool. And it's like, it's a new form of comedy too, you know? It's like I'm using my comedic skills in a different way, and then having a second person that's like kind of a part of the show. And then like in the first dose, it's like authentic moments where it's like, I didn't like what he's like, what the fuck are you putting that up for? And then like, and then making him change things in real time. And so it's this whole weird dynamic that it took a long time to get used to, but I eventually figured it out. And then you figure out nuances of like, a lot of it's prepared, and then some of it's a little bit improvised, and you're mixing it up. And then like, sometimes the visuals stepping on my punchline. Sometimes things are coming too late, so it's really like a different art form. It's neat.
It is. I mean, you're doing two things at once.
Yeah.
I'm barely. I don't even know how to talk sometimes. I'm up there. I'm just like, I don't even know how to get through this, dude.
True.
What would you do? What do you think in the psychedelic realm or world of ingestion would you never do again? Is there anything you're like, I'm out on that. I'm not going to go back to that.
Well,
it's not for me anymore.
I mean, I kind of have PTSD from 5-MeO DMT, the
that
toad medicine. That hit me pretty hard. It was two of the best experiences I've ever had, and then two of the worst. And our brains kind of tend to remember the negative experiences a bit more.
Yeah,
and
the bad outweighs the good.
And so it's but like the thing with the PTSD is like, I also, if I don't do it again, then it just is stuck me kind of being confused about what happened. Whereas usually if you go back and you see like, oh, that's
go conquer
what I was seeing.
Maybe you go back and conquer it.
And there's like fucking Ibogaine that just got I was like, oh my God, what the fuck? I mean, there's like, oh, this is, it breaks all these things, and the science, like, no, they've been studying. Like someone died in a study. That's why they quit the studies, originally.
Call it closed on that.
It's like not a terribly scientific way that it's. I'm happy that things are moving forward, but I'm also very pro-science guy. I wish we lived in a world that was science-based policy more, which would make psychedelics more decriminalized and legalized and studied. But like Ibogaine, I remember when I was making my documentary Psychonautics, Comics Exploration of Psychedelics, available on Amazon, I was supposed to go and do Ibogaine in Mexico. The place got shut down by like the cartel before I got a chance to do it. But I remember I was talking with Rick Doblin, who's the founder of MAPS, the Multidisciplinary Association of Psychedelic Studies, which kind of spearheaded the modern psychedelic research movement. He's a funny guy, really smart, interesting guy. And I was like, Rick, I'm thinking about doing Ibogaine, but I don't know. I've heard it just kind of like for the documentary, and I'm an experienced chaser. And like I've heard it can be like a 12-hour nightmare. He's like, oh no. It can be much longer than that. And so I haven't done that one yet, and it's definitely not calling to me.
No.
But I could see there's different Shanes, we all have different
Oh, yeah,
aspects of who we are.
Yeah, we
so
do.
like the right thing could hit me at the right time. And I'm like, all right. But like you're on a hospital bed with defibrillators nearby because your heart can stop. I mean, that's some fucking serious shit.
In here, we pour whiskey.
The biggest stage in the world is soccer, and here, every goal changes everything. Now, Fanduel is giving you a reason to root for every single goal, no matter who's playing. Introducing Every Goal Pays. Bet on a match and get bonus bets for every goal scored in that match. That's right. More goals means more bonus bets, and all you got to do is turn on your token, baby. Okay? Easy, easy money. Who am I rooting for? Cape Verde. God bless that, man. Tiny little country off the coast of West Africa. Shout out to Cape Verde for even making it this far. That's insane. Most people don't even know where it is. I had a very smart friend of mine say, I didn't even know that's a country. Well, you do now. From the opening whistle to the final kick, let there be goals on FanDuel. Visit FanDuel.com to get started today. 21 and over select states for Kansas in affiliation with Kansas Star Casino, 18 plus in DC, KYWY. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 1-800-MY-RESET. Call 1-888-789-7777. Visit ccpg.org/chat. Connecticut. Visit mdgamblinghelp.org. Maryland. Visit gamblinghelplinema.org. Call 800-327-5050. Massachusetts. Call 1-877-8-HOPE-NY. Text HOPE-NY. New York, call 1-877-770-7867, Louisiana. This episode of Whiskey Ginger is brought to you by Squarespace. Squarespace is incredible, okay? We've been powered by Squarespace for a long time. They're an all-in-one website platform designed to help you stand out, succeed online. Back in my day, you used to have to build stuff from scratch. Squarespace has these incredible templates to help you grow your online business from a visual selling standpoint. What they do is they help you build out little sections of a website, whether it's cutting edge design, you're offering services. They have SEO tools so you can optimize and index all the meta descriptions so you pop up more often to people that are searching for your little trinkets, whatever you're making in your garage, growing that business. They got a donations page, a videos page, and also, they have email campaigns, which I think are huge. For people like us to want to know where our fans are, where they're coming from, this helps. So if you're looking to build a website, why don't you go over to squarespace.com/whiskey, save 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain using my code WHISKEY. Get yourself a new site by going to Squarespace. Check it out. Try it. Try to build something. Squarespace.com/whiskey. You're going to save yourself 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain. And using my code, of course, it is WHISKEY.
Ginger. I like gingers.
Trump signed a bill to try to make that be a reality. Isn't that what happened?
Yeah, I mean,
that's kind of a trip.
Rogan texted Trump,
but isn't that crazy that's the world we're living in? And he's like, bro,
I mean, it's just like populist pandering stuff in the weirdest way, and that's weird that's how you pander to the populace now.
Yeah,
and it's also because there's all these games within the psychedelic culture where you introduce some new thing that hasn't. Like, everyone already knows LSD, so that it already has this baggage attached to it.
Sure.
Where if you just go Ibogaine, even if it's far more intense than everything, people don't know that.
Of course not.
So you just go oh, this is just good for opiate addiction or whatever. Oh, opiate addiction's bad. Ibogaine, this thing that I've never heard of that science is saying, and no one knows science. The world's not scientifically thinking. No. We are completely scientifically illiterate and have no a real dearth of critical thinking skills. And so which, by the way, I'm bringing back my science podcast. Here we are. It's at the same time that the special drops, so check that out. I interview a scientist, academic each week in different fields, and so and you can just listen to the way that scientists talk, and then it helps you think about how scientific thinking works.
Sure.
Like scientists say, I don't know more than any human being you will ever meet in your entire life.
Because we just pretend like we know.
We pretend like we know. You could be talking to the world's leading authority on a subject and ask them the simplest question about it. And they're like, I don't know. I'll research someone's work and be like, oh, this was the stuff that like got them tenure, then like got them published in Nature, which is like the biggest thing for a scientist. I'll ask them about that work. They're like, more stuff's come in since then. I'm not sure I really buy into that, my own best idea anymore. And that's just a different way of thinking than a lot of people think.
Yeah, because they're quite literal. Science has no like facetiousness to it. They're like, well, it's either this or this. They can't be like it's so definitive. Science has to be definitive. So for them, it was probably true at the time, but since it changed, they're not just going to lean on what they felt. They're going to be like, well, it's continuing to change. You have to keep up.
And the models are always getting a lot more complex and sophisticated. And so the whole game is you're always trying to think of like, are there alternative explanations for things? And then is there a way that you can so the whole thing that is also opposite of how every human's mind works is that science goes about falsifying things. So you come up with an idea and then you go like, okay, how would this work? And then how could I form a test to test this? And what I'm trying to do with the test is I'm trying to falsify how do I prove myself wrong in as many possible ways? And then you really run your idea through a gauntlet. And then after you're done with that, you find people in related fields that are expertises in things that you aren't in case you have blind spots. And then you go, hey, can anyone find some shit that's wrong with my ideas? And then after enough peer review, it can say, and none of this is perfect. It doesn't always go this way.
Right.
But then it can get published, and then after it's published, then it gets more eyes on it, criticizing it and trying to figure out what's wrong with it. And you really can't get a job in science unless you have like a new hook and a new angle, and you've found like, oh, I think they've missed something here, and here's like a little bit of a hole where
it sounds like comedy.
I can research.
This is basically comedy.
Yeah. Well, honestly, I think part of my love of it is comedy and science. They're doing the exact same thing. It's the alien anthropologist point of view where scientists go like, hey, why? Most people go, someone, hey, why do we behave this way? Why do we like cheers or whatever when we have drinks? And you ask anyone, they're like, oh, this is just what we do, and you take it for granted. But scientists go, no, but why? Where did that evolve? Where did that come from? And you investigate. Comedians do the same thing.
Yeah.
Have you ever noticed this and that? and it's the same
the
thing
etymology of the cheers came from the Swedish word "cheerlugen," and what happened? Yeah, exactly. No, that is true. It's the same. And then the more publicized it gets, the more critical it becomes. Yeah, and more people kind of jump on board, either cheering it on or saying, actually.
And as a comedian, you have to be so thoughtful in that because you find out because your ideas get run through the gauntlet of the audience. And it's not even that an idea is necessarily bad. It might be that you have had so much more time to think about it. Yeah. You're so much more ahead of the idea that you take for granted. This is one of my favorite, most pretentiously named cognitive biases is the curse of knowledge, which is once you know something, it is hard to get back in the place of not knowing that thing. Doug Stanhope had this amazing bit about how he didn't know it was about that term, but it's about like I'm going to butcher it, but it's about how he will yell at someone for not knowing a thing that he learned yesterday.
Yeah, so good. Yeah. How do you not know that?
and so you find that out on stage where it's like, oh, I'm not conveying this. Right. I'm taking it for granted that they're in my head and know all of the things that I know. So then you have to, like, what may feel like dumbing something down is just making something more clear.
Yeah, and not assuming that they have any sort of idea that you have knowledge about it And I'll do this a lot, like with my wife. Sometimes, like she's like, you've been talking to yourself. I don't know what you're talking about, because I'll be jumping through my brain this, and then I'll say to her, "Well, right, isn't that what Karen's son's name is?" And she'll go, "What are you talking about?" And we do this all the time, where you're assuming they're catching up to where you are, but you're on a light rail, and they're like, "What are you? I don't even know where you are."
Well, it's also because we have these. So one of my favorite concepts to think about is that we have these social brains that tend to overperceive. They tend to conflate the knowledge in other people's brains with what's in our own heads. So this is like there's a whole field of study, which is the illusion of explanatory depth, which is kind of hilarious and fascinating, which is that you ask someone, this is related to one of the things kind of getting out there in the zeitgeist is the Dunning-Kruger effect. You've heard this probably, where people have the most confidence in their knowledge of something when they know nothing at all. Then you start learning about something, you go, oh my God, this is more complicated than I realized. And then it's not till you have a master's degree in physics that you think you maybe have your same confidence in your understanding of gravity as when you knew nothing and were like, oh yeah, things fall down. I get it. But within that, one of the things that we do, because confidence is such a big thing as social animals, is that one, we overestimate ourselves. Two, we like hunter-gatherers had to know when people had different knowledge bases, like you might know how to build a shelter better than I do. I might know how to like hunt better. And you would know that. And so when you're around people that have skills that you don't have, like if you're around your mechanic friend, you overestimate how much knowledge you have about maintenance, car maintenance. You do, and so they've tested this in a million ways. My favorite study is this quick. Is they basically say the same thing twice, two slightly different conditions. The control, they go, scientists have discovered this new mineral. It glows, and they figured out why it glows. They've learned everything about it. How much do you know about this glowing mineral? And people are like, I think I got a handle on this hypothetical thing you just made up for this story that I read one paragraph about.
Right.
And then they change it and they go, scientists have discovered this mineral. It glows. They've learned everything about it. It's confidential. How much do you know about it? And I'm like, what do you mean? I don't know anything about it.
Oh, sorry.
Just because they put the word confidential in there.
They're like, oh,
so you don't have access. So our brains conflate the ability to access information with already having it. So what does that mean in our modern world where we have a fucking magical device with all of human knowledge at your fingertips, and so we often confuse the ability to even look something up with already having that knowledge, because you go like, I could look it up. But
I already know. Right.
So you like already feel like you know, and we're all doing this all the time now.
Constantly. You're like, I've already been downloaded.
Yeah, I got it. I think I get it.
I think I get it.
Yeah.
Also,
if not,
I think
I can take 30 seconds and look it up. So you
well,
think
because
that
we
know.
have this thing, the scariest thing to me is like, because you have it, sometimes now you feel like you don't even want to look it up because it's almost too convenient.
Yeah.
Where you're like, yeah, I guess it's that thing. We almost just did it on the sphere thing, where we're like, "What is it? It's got to be the."
I mean, and it cuts both ways, because sometimes I'm saying something now because like I've been talking with scientists for 15 years, so I can like I'll get going, and sometimes I know when I'm getting a little loose, because I can sound pretty convincing, and more and more because of AI and everything. I'm finding myself being like, oh, I should be a little careful about like, if I'm gonna say, like, normally I just wing it and go like, oh yeah, the 2 and 3 finger sloth diverged 60 million years ago. Now I go like, I think it was like 20, 30 million years ago. You might have to check, just because I'm now like in my head that like, what if someone checks me afterwards? Like, hey, do you think Shane's just making up shit about sloths?
Could be.
Like,
yeah,
is he
could
just
be.
a fucking psycho? Like, looks it up.
Shane doesn't know anything about sloths. You know that? He's just guessing. But confidence is key. If you just sell him on that, people believe it. But that's why honestly, these two things are so parallel. Everything you're saying is like the comedy world. The more confident you are as a comedian, the more you can convey something that may not be that socially funny to people, but you've like sold them on something that they, because the idea of comedy branches for a communal, for something that's communal and kind of broad, is that we've all lived this experience, right? If you said something like, you know, when you're at a fucking ATM and blah, 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 and the assumption is, yeah, like 99% of people in there have probably gone to an ATM. But if you're really good, like really good at comedy, some of the best that I've ever seen, like Louis does this a lot. He'll talk about something that probably is quite niche, but he words it in a way where I feel like I may have done it.
Yeah,
I always think about the bit he does with the little, when you walk into somebody's little shop in a foreign country and it's got a little bullshit half door and it's the bang, 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 and you walk into their dream, you know what I'm talking, you know, and he explains it in such great detail and depth that I know I've seen this in my mind, but I'm not sure that I've actually experienced it. But because he's so good at selling you on it, you feel like you're like, of course I've been in one of those stores. I don't really know if I have, but I know that I can see it enough. So it has that same... Good comedy has that same ability of like, well, you're selling it to me so well. I guess I must believe it's true. Even if it's completely fabricated.
Availability heuristic. The more readily you can picture something in your mind, the more likely your brain conceives of it.
And we all kind of go on that ride.
So if you can create this story for people, that works a lot better than, you know, that's why we don't manage data very well in statistics.
No, we're pretty bad at that.
Yeah.
What were you going to say?
Do you want to know when two-fingered and three-fingered sloths?
It was like 30 million.
Prove
30
Shane
million.
wrong.
No, he's right.
No, 30 million.
30 million.
Okay, good.
Yeah, he was on the money.
30 million?
30 million, 30 to 40 million years ago.
What's incredibly bizarre about that? So sloths, there's been a variety of sloths through the ages. There's been most sloths were like giant ground sloths. Some were larger than elephants and stuff.
Awesome.
There was aquatic sloths for a while. Sloths today are actually better swimmers than anything else. But people pick them up from boat. They think they're drowning. People are like at a boat. They're like, the fucking poor thing doesn't move very fast, but the fastest it moves is in the water, and it's trying to like get laid. And they think it's helping. Meanwhile, they're like covered in these fucking mites with like rare diseases. They're this archetype of like, how does this thing exist? They hardly move and everything. They're basically like a very sophisticated gut hanging in a tree, but they. So there's been plenty of larger, more ferocious, faster sloths. They're all extinct. The two sloths that stuck around, 2 and 3 finger sloths, they're unrelated. They aren't related.
There's no line.
They aren't cousins. Their last ancestor was like 30 million years ago. It was like more like an anteater or something. And then they went off on separate branches. And then because of this is called convergent evolution, because of these very specific ecological constraints and opportunities within systems, they converged on this very similar morphology where most people would look at them and not be able to tell them apart. I'd tell them apart, but most people wouldn't.
You could tell them apart.
Wouldn't be able to tell them apart.
This is essentially like two people that you've ever seen this online when they go two people around the world that aren't related but look identical?
Yeah.
And they can't find and there's no ties to these people at all. They just kind of have like somehow mimic the same characteristics, but they have nothing to do with one another. There's no tie to them.
And this is like, and people have their minds blown when like flight was thought of in 2 different areas independent of one another. And this is, that happens all the time just because like sometimes when the idea is ripe for flying just takes off. This happens. It's easier to understand and more simple. Like there's been a zillion mole like type things because anything that burrows is going to have like a similar shape. Fish, there's only so many ways to be hydrodynamic, So, but it's like very unusual when you have something as odd as a sloth. that has converged on this exact same strategy,
And
this
only
same
you can tell the
morphology.
difference. Only Shane can tell the difference.
Or even like if something like Armageddon versus Deep Impact, like both those movies came out in '98, and it's like one of them didn't steal from another because of how long it takes movies going to production, but they both were probably inspired by something around the same time.
Something was happening societally, right? This happens a lot, though. It's
The Prestige and The Illusionist.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Remember that?
Yeah.
Two fantastic magician thrillers.
Same, kind of the same film.
But something probably happened 3 years before that planted the idea.
Something in our social zeitgeist was moving through, and people go, "Oh, this is that. That's why this is that." And then it kind of just. That's the same thing when you write a joke where someone else has. I thought about this while I was brushing my teeth this morning. This is great. Well, Fitzsimmons texted me. You know Greg Fitzsimmons?
Yeah.
I love the Fitz dog. He was texting me something. He was being mean, as he always is. And I remember him and I had like a similar joke years ago. And it made me laugh while I was brushing my teeth because I went up to Greg, and I didn't really know him that well. This had to have been maybe 10 years ago or more. And, you know, much younger comedian. And I was like, hey, I just want to let you know, I kind of have something like oddly similar to this. And it's not the same, but like I wanted to be careful, as you do. You're like, I just want to let you know. But like I had never seen you do that. And I know he had never seen me do that because I was kind of still running on lower market shows. And he goes, really? And I go, yeah, it's oddly, there's no punchlines are the same, no beats are the same, but they take this parallel path and they really keep like coming real close to bumping. And he was like, oh, wow. And I was like, yeah, that's kind of cool, right? And he goes, who does it better?
That's funny because when that happens to me, when I find things, when I see someone doing a joke that I have, my first conclusion isn't, oh, they must have seen and stolen my joke. I'm usually like, guess that joke wasn't very good.
Right. Yes.
Guess it wasn't good enough.
It was easily thought. Well, and the truth for Greg was he did it better. But it's only because he's uglier, because he can sell, an uglier man can sell this joke better.
Of course.
No, I said you. He goes, well, I'm going to keep doing it. I said, well, then do it, Greg. I don't care. But yes, these similar ideas happen all the time.
This is another thing that we have a hard time wrapping our minds around is just bottom-up emergence of complexity, and through these simple processes. We're tool users. Our brain thinks about things from this top down. Because when we did evolve to like figure out how to design something and build something and use tools, it was incredibly beneficial. So we overshoot it. So we just have a hard time understanding like that things just fucking happen sometimes, and then they combine in these weird similar ways sometimes, and it seems very coincidental, but it's also like part of the reason why we experience so many coincidences is because we have like an internet and social media and 8 billion people all sharing their experiences, and so one person over here and one person over here looks identical and is doing the same thing, and they're unrelated.
And some things are deliberate. Like I did steal your idea. I'm gonna do a psychedelic tour, and I'm going to say it had nothing to do with anything.
I want you to so bad.
You know what?
Just ruin your career. You're doing so well. Like, I need to think of some fucking gimmick to get some specialized audience in to listen to me blab about.
Well, here's why it's not a gimmick. It's because anybody who I think would try to do what you're doing would do it with, it would be so like contrived, and yours is so genuine that I don't think anybody can touch that realm. I think you're in a league of your own.
Oh, thank
truly.
you.
No, truly. I mean, you're one of the funniest people that I know, and it's funny because when I first saw you, you were the all-American boy. Bring up a picture of old Shane. Can we get a picture of old Shane for the audience that doesn't know? Old Shane, the all-American boy. And honestly, here I
was always a troublemaker. I actually used to be more of a troublemaker than I am now, and so it was so much more beneficial to look that way.
But I mean,
when things were less acceptable.
Well, this is new. This is a new audience.
Yeah.
By the way, I wanted to say this because this made me laugh. And show. You got to send that to Joe. Show this picture to the audience. Look at that sexy young boy, dude.
Sometimes
Crazy.
I'm like, I'll like be with a girl or something, and it like finds me attractive. But then I show her an old picture, and they're like, "Oh fuck!" I see, I see her like looking at my jawline and stuff. Like, "Oh, what's under that beard? God damn it!"
A handsome boy.
Can we?
No.
I see him going for the scissors.
You're still a handsome man. These are just two different guys. By the way, I wanted to say this. This made me. I thought about this too when you said whenever somebody has a similar joke, I'm going to call it the three-toed. I'll call it a three-toed sloth. Is what I'm going to say.
Yeah.
I'm going to go, dude. You three-toed sloth me. Max Muncy. There are 2 Max Muncies in professional baseball, completely unrelated, share the same birthday.
Yes.
And they are unrelated. Look that up. This is.
What's his name?
Max Muncy.
Yeah.
Completely unrelated, and have the exact same birthday on August 25th. One's 1990, one's 2002. And you want to talk about creepy.
Yeah.
That's where you're like, that's where a piece of me goes back to, is the universe have more power than we think? Like, is there something underneath the thing?
Yeah,
like, how could, like, that
it's easy to have
feels
those
like a slip
feelings.
in the sim.
In here, we pour whiskey.
I'm here to tell you about Liquid IV. I know you've seen it. I know you've heard about it. What is it? What does it do? It hydrates faster than water alone. Okay, it's scientifically formulated to replenish electrolytes and fluids lost from sweat or exercise. I love taking this in the morning. Makes me feel good, juices up my day. It's backed by a scientific advisory board, real experts, real science going into this. And by the way, no sugar. There's no sugar in this. Come on, man. You know, that's the sugars in so much stuff now. It's loaded in there and you don't even know it. In so many health products, this is absolutely delicious. I really do love it. Raspberry lemonade happens to be my favorite flavor as of now. You can see I've ripped it this morning just to put one in there. And it is delicious. It's a proprietary amino acid allulose blend. All right, 3 times the electrolytes. And 100% daily value of essential B vitamins, B3, B5, B6, B12. That's got all the good jazz that you are looking for. You got to get yourself some Liquid IV today. It is so good and so good for your body. Say yes to unforgettable moments with Liquid IV's new hydration multiplier, sugar-free ring pop. Yum, yum. Tear, pour, live more. Go to liquidiv.com and get 20% off your first purchase with code 2026WG at checkout. That's 20% off your first purchase with code 2026WG at liquidiv.com.
Ginger. I like gingers.
And it's also because part of it's because detecting like a novel pattern that might actually be useful. Like it was detected. There was a scientist that was looking through a hockey program years ago. Malcolm Gladwell, I think, wrote about this and noticed that all these hockey players had a January and February birthday. And he's like, how is this a coincidence? It can't be. There's just too much data here. And he starts looking at it and then realized, well, what it is that was like the oldest person in every hockey league in school. So you were just slightly bigger.
Right.
And you'd get a little more playing time. And then you'd be a starter and you'd be put in all of these positions and just like a little bit more, you'd be set up a little bit differently. So the idea is like, say your goal were to just create, Canada wanted to like create more hockey superstars. You could maybe just have another league that starts at a different time, and you might double the number of amazing hockey players.
Well, because because this is always fascinating to me. I don't know how big you are into sports, but I'm like Tiger Woods is the greatest example of like that's some of it is nature. But so much of his life was it was his father who pushed him into the ground, but still became the best in the world. So then you argue there could be another family that does that without any sort of knowledge of like he's going to be a big kid or a strong kid or whatever. Because golf, you don't necessarily need to be tall or very strong. I mean, athleticism does have a piece of it, but you ground him into number one. Still makes me think, but did the universe
there's also
already have this plan for this kid? It's creepy.
I mean, there's a lot of survivorship bias too. I mean, there's a lot of wannabe Jackson 5s out there right now that need social services called and like they aren't gonna make it.
But
they
why
aren't
not
gonna
them?
be generating that revenue.
But why not them?
And then there's
What
a
is
mix of there's and then there's like timing. There's
But does the universe have anything to do with any of that?
Well, in my perspective, it
You don't
so
think so?
much.
I know.
But I'm also like. So it's really complicated, the ideas of free will and determinism, because I think like in hindsight, it was always determined.
Sure.
But the future is impossible to determine. We can never know, and there's there's just very, very complicated ideas of chaos and emergence and how predicting anything is kind of impossible. But in hindsight, so this is evolutionary thinking is kind of where I'm most comfortable. And the mistake that I see most people intuitively make, and I have to stop myself, is you look back in hindsight and you go, oh, that was for something. It feels as if the species had foresight and was looking ahead to like, oh, and then if I start hanging upside down instead, then eventually, like when humans slaughter everything else, I'll be
chilling.
I'll be hanging and I'm kind of like not worth losing an arrow over. And so, like, no, you don't have that kind of foresight. It's just things just happen, and then most things just don't work out.
Sure.
And then some things do. Like most things just go extinct. Most things are evolutionary dead ends, and then just some branching
But then
things
some
kinda
are
work
anomalies,
out.
though.
Yeah.
Like I talked to a friend about the Tasmanian Devil, and I was saying how like when the first time I saw it, like you had this old concept in your head from the Devil cartoon when we were young.
Yeah.
And you see these little things. And they're blind. I mean, they're blind. They're absolutely blind. And the reason they got their name was because when settlers were going to this island, to Tasmania, they howl. They howl terribly. And I don't know if it's breeding season or not, but they howl in a way that's like screechy and wretched. It does sound insane. It's like it's obnoxious. And imagine these early settlers coming here, and at night, and that's all they hear in the woods is like So they're like, this is a cursed island. This is Devil Island. These things are named devils simply because they were like evil, bad. Then you see them, you're like, look at that cute little weird rat. It's just tiny and blind, but evolution has found its way to keep this thing alive because nothing is there to. That's it. Listen to that.
You guys want to walk toward that, or should we like maybe walk the opposite direction, or what are you thinking? Run as fast as we can?
Back to the boats. Back on the boats. Yeah. Cheers. Right. I mean, like immediately.
Lazy.
Yeah. Boats sound nice. Let's go. Back on the boats. It just feel like you hear this. They name this creature, and then once they get to know it, there's nothing there to kill it. I mean, there's no predators in Australia anyway. There's nothing there to kill it. But somehow, and look this up, this is wild, the pounds per square inch of their jaw, what is fascinating, because they had to be, they just had to be resourceful. They can crack through bone. I mean, they're tiny as fuck. They can crack. They could crack through your tib. Like they could crack right through it.
So and probably scavenging.
Oh yeah. Then they'll eat fucking anything. But they might be. I don't know. They look like a small shitty dog.
Yeah. So they're probably like kind of composters and stuff.
Yeah. They eat
they're
eating
carcasses and stuff that everything else isn't picking apart.
Right.
I wonder.
The Tasmanian devil has the strongest bite force relative to body size for any living mammalian carnivore, with a canine bite force of 553 newtons, roughly 124 pounds of force. When measured in pressure, their bite can exceed 1,000 to 1,200 psi, allowing them to crush bone and consume entire carcasses.
1,200 psi, and this thing weighs nothing. And when you see it eat, because they show you when you go down there, they'll feed it in front of you. It does look cartoonish. I would see where a cartoonist would be like, I gotta draw this thing. It's insane, because the way it like destroys, you can't even imagine that much force can come out of something so minuscule. You're like, how does it even generate that much power? Because they move shitty and slow. I mean, they look really. It's what it's like. You ever see someone who looks like slovenly and fat and lazy, and they can throw a football like 80 yards.
Like
and you're
Jack
like,
Black suddenly is like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Or like Chris
He's
Farley.
like one of the most athletic people.
It's
that
unbelievable.
there
Can do a
is.
standing backflip. You're like, what? Wait, who?
Farley doing cartwheels.
Yeah.
Farley was
Yeah.
he was a remarkable athlete because he was a
Yeah.
rugby player, but he was just big. But he had that something inside
Yeah,
was like a little gem of energy that was like you're gonna be able to do anything, even though the shell is odd. Yeah, but that to me was like these little fascinating evolution things that I'm like that's insane.
Yeah.
How is it still around, and
Yeah.
why is it still around?
Yeah.
Nothing's killing it.
Yeah, there's actually in Australia, if you get a chance south of Adelaide, there's Kangaroo Island, which is someone I just like decide to stick some koala bears and kangaroos and stuff on this island with no predators, some marsupials. So now if you're gonna go rent a car there, they all have the whatever those guards are,
like
for,
the cow
running over
pushers,
shit.
like they have on trains.
Because you're probably going to run over some marsupial while you're there. If you're outside at a restaurant, like kangaroos are coming up to you, like begging for food.
Yeah,
and
they're
shit.
obnoxious.
It's,
Most Australians hate them. We kind of have this weird affinity for them. You go down there and they're like, nah, I can't stand them, mate. They loathe them.
Yeah,
Because they're,
yeah.
especially if you live out where there's a lot, they're annoying as shit.
Yeah.
And they come into people's stuff. We went to go see the quokkas on Rottnest Island. By the way, the name Rot Nest, we were like, ooh, what's that from? It's pretty deliberate.
Yeah.
It's because it was a rotting nest. They were like, it's gross.
Yeah.
And you went out there to see these quokkas. They're like, what do you call it? Like oversized squirrels? What would they?
They're kind of like squirrel rats, but they're like
But they're
cute.
huge. They're pretty big, but they're cute.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
they're fucking everywhere.
Yeah, and they
They're
hate them
everywhere. They hate 'em.
Yeah. Are they like they're possums? Because they have strange possums over there that are like so much cuter than ours.
Yeah, they have
And
they
you
have much
see 'em,
cuter
like,
animals.
Oh, I want to feed them grapes, and then people are like, don't. They're
Don't do
like
that.
in my attic, and like
Yeah, I hate
they're
'em. Get 'em
costing me
outta here.
tens of thousands of dollars just ruining shit.
Yeah, they're very. They have much cuter. Their nuisances are cuter than ours.
Yeah,
That's kind of the best way to say it. It's like your nuisance is cute. It would be Australia that have cute nuisances.
Yeah, we take our squirrels for granted.
We
a lot of
really
people
do,
see our
dude.
squirrels, they're like, holy shit.
We really do. We take it all for granted.
Yeah.
I'm no longer going to take three-toed sloths for granted now.
What's fascinating is these patterns that statistically emerge all over. You can just start making predictions, which is how I'm like, oh, the strong, probably scavenging, probably getting some
you got
bone
it.
marrow, probably, and so there's people that can, if they say they found a tooth of a tooth of a brand new species that had never been discovered before. If it's the right tooth, especially if you can get a few of them, maybe they can go like, oh, I can tell if they're territorial or not, and their mating patterns. And it's simple like, oh, they eat fruit. Things that eat vegetation don't have to compete for vegetation. If you eat fruit, there's only a few fruit trees around, you're going to fight more. If you're fighting more, you're probably going to be a trophy species. You might have a harem and compete for that harem. So you can just make all these really fucking weird inferences from finding like a tooth.
Just the one little
It's
tooth.
incredible. Yeah.
You're a scientist, dude. I don't know. I don't know. Shane Mauss. I don't know. I don't know, man. That should be the next special. I don't really know. What do we really know? The older I get now, how old are you now?
I'm 45, almost 46.
Yeah, like now in my 40s, I feel like I know.
How old are you?
42. I'll be 43 this year. I don't feel
You're
like I
doing
know
great.
anything anymore.
Yeah.
I feel like I know less now. And maybe that's because of what you were talking about where...
I mean, it might be because you're smart.
I just
smart
feel like
people tend to start going like, wait
What
a
the
second.
fuck?
Like
Yeah.
the more you learn, the more you realize how little you know.
Yeah, how little you know, and how I guess blind hope as a kid of like what you want to happen or what you'd like to have as your life.
Yeah.
And then you get to a stage of your middle life, and
I
you're like,
wanted to be a comedian since I was 10 years old. Like
crazy.
I didn't know what it was going to be like, and all the fucking shit that was going to. Like now I got to be like an Instagram influencer or something to make a living. It's like if someone from the future, would have traveled back in time, or myself, go back and like I thought when I was a kid, I was like, I know I'm like signing up to be kind of a clown, and like I just gotta leave my ego at the door a little bit. I didn't know that it would get more embarrassing. I
thought that would chill out a little bit. Yeah, I thought that would cool out. No, embarrassing through the roof, the most. But you wouldn't. I said this the other day to my wife. I was. I don't know if I would be anything else anymore. I don't. If somebody was like, no more comedian for you anymore, I'd go, well, I guess.
I've thought about becoming a scientist.
You should.
I've gotten some offers.
Do you need an assistant?
And that's only because of some. That's only for financial stability, and now fucking nothing's stable anymore.
Yeah.
Scientists are like, I don't know. So
on that scary note,
on that fucking horrifying
watch the special right now.
Yeah.
Watch both specials right now. What's up?
Do you want to go through the Shane versus Sean statistics?
Oh, give me the Shane versus Sean
Yes.
statistics. Yes.
Please.
So I pulled
well,
up.
are we separating S? Yeah, okay.
I got.
S-E-A-N?
So we
done his due
we can
diligence.
do some. We can do this a few. We can do a few rounds. Round one, we're gonna rank what's more popular: Shane, Sean, AWN, or Sean, SEAN. And then we can go through and.
My guess would be
specifically.
SEAN is more popular than SHAWN. SEAN is the traditional Irish.
And then where is Shane in all this?
Shane would be probably second to Sean. I go Shane, Sean, SHAWN, Sean.
Okay.
Yeah, what do you think?
So you say Irish Shane, or Irish Sean.
Sean first, SEAN first.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
I think SEAN, SHAWN, and then Shane.
Really?
Yeah.
Both of you are wrong.
What?
Oh!
SHAWN is the most popular.
What?
Then,
I don't know any SHAWNs.
Then SEAN.
Then Sean.
Then
Then
Shane.
Shane.
And Shane, yeah.
Once
And
again, you're
then
last.
Let's
Yeah. No, I get it.
let's see if we can guess how close in those three, like to the number.
Oh, okay,
What their numbers are in the U.S.
Percentages or total number?
Total estimated population. It gets pretty specific on this website.
Jesus. Okay.
On
So if
mynamestats.com.
SHAWN,
That's the most popular.
and we're guessing the total number of Seans in the United States of America.
Yep.
God bless.
300,000. No.
No way.
That's way too many, isn't it?
No, I think that's too little.
That's
I'm gonna
too
guess.
little?
I'm gonna guess it's over 1 million. Is it crazy?
Such a big city. And then I'll go low. I'll go low on the other one. I'll say the lesser Shawns, which is how I refer to them now.
The lesser Shawns.
I'll say 70,000. I think that's undershooting.
And then
it.
where is Shane?
Shane's like 45.
Okay.
I know 45,000 Shans.
You do.
All right, so the number. So
actually.
Sean. So SHAWN is. Yeah, it's got to be maybe like 500,000, and then SEAN would be 250, and Shane's 175.
Okay.
What is it?
SHAWN 245,184.
Wow.
SEAN not too far behind it, 236,738. So you
Okay.
weren't too far off on that.
And the second one, yeah.
And Shane is 111,699.
You're a special boy.
There's more Shanes out there than
Special
I
boy.
realized, though.
Now-
I'm both special, and there's more of us at the same time. That was a really
Let's do a Shane meetup.
heartwarming.
Shane wants to do a meetup. We're going to put an address here below. Please go to a Shane meetup next
There
week.
could be a Shane
Yeah.
festival.
Shane
now.
festival would be right.
How many Andrews
Gillis
are
and
there?
Torres and
How many what?
How many Andrews are there in the U.S.?
Andrews?
Oh my goodness.
So funny because
There's
I don't.
gotta be like
It's the
10
58th
million,
most
right?
popular given name in the U.S.
Really? Mm-hmm. You know what's funny? I don't have one other friend named Andrew. I don't know.
That's insane.
Do you know any other Andrews?
I know so
also,
many Andrews.
I go by Santino anyway. I don't really. No one ever
Yeah.
calls me Andrew. I would say what? 58th most popular name
in the U.S.
out of 360 million people.
Mm-hmm.
So just deductive math would say that's got to be what, like
I said 50 million. I think that's way too high.
50 million. Maybe you shouldn't be a scientist.
In my mind, it's all just Andrews out there.
There's a lot of them.
There's just nothing but Andrews.
It's got just under 1 million, like 850.
Wow, 880,000.
Whoa, pretty
Million is
good.
such a bad
And then I looked
guess.
up my name.
Okay, how about McCone? McCone Corkery, one of the most rare names on earth. McCone, here in the United States, MCKONE.
That's incredible.
I'm going to guess there's 7,000 McCones in the United States.
Oh, wow. I like your guess. I'm going to say I'm gonna go under. I'm gonna say 4,000.
4,000. $1, Bob.
So it says here, it only is giving me last name statistics. It says this name is most often used as a last name 100% of the time. So I don't think there's any.
No McCones.
Other than me.
You are the first McCone I've ever met.
Yeah.
But I imagine there was more out there because there's enough Irish
It's a
people
famous
here.
last name, but it's never really used as a first name.
Same.
See, and now next generation, there's gonna be enough people that listen to this podcast,
And they start naming their
We're
kids.
gonna get up into the
That
4,000,
hopefully-
7,000.
But when we're dead,
McCones.
we'll see the ticker finally get to 7,000. We're like, yes, we died. Well, dude, like same thing. My name.
Yeah, Santino.
The amount of Santinos that it's a first name. It's a super popular first name.
Yeah.
Almost never a last name. Almost never a last name. In fact,
Really?
yes, Santino's very odd to have as a last name. It's Sonny Corleone, Santino Corleone. It's a popular first name. In fact, I grew up with a kid, Sonny Scarlato. His name was Santino Scarlato. And I always thought that was wild. I was like, "Oh, your last name's my first name." He's like, "Dude, your last name is a first name." And I was like, "Oh, really?" But it is. Like, how many? Right? Like, how many Santinos?
In the U.S., this name is commonly used as either a first or last name. More specifically, used as a first name 53% of the time. So it's pretty even split first or last name.
See, I never met another.
But that's just in the U.S. In Italy, it's probably more.
Well, let's not go over there. We'll get dark. You never know what's going on.
Isn't
down
it
there.
funny how much sense everything makes after you hear the fact of it? Like, God, it's like I knew it the whole time.
Knew it the whole time.
I don't know why I guessed differently
That's
when
exactly
I
what
knew.
we talked about. Knew it the whole time. I knew it the whole time. Please do me a favor, folks at home. Please go watch both of the specials. They're going to be linked down below. If the second one isn't out by the time this comes out, because timing is all over the place, please watch it when it does come out, because it comes out May
19th.
May 19th.
It's an early release right now on 800-pound gorillas.
800-pound gorillas. So great. By the way, great, phenomenal, great company to work with, right? And they have they've supported a lot of comedians for a very long time. Please go watch both of the specials. They'll be linked below. I appreciate you so very much. We end the episode the same way. Look into that camera and say one word or one phrase whenever it enters your mind. You could impart a phrase of wisdom or one singular word if you want to just drop the hammer.
Randomness.
In here, we pour whisk, 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 whisk.
You were that creature in the ginger beard.
Sturdy and ginger.
Like vampires, the ginger gene is a curse.
Gingers are beautiful.
You owe me $5 for the whiskey and $75 for the horse.
Gingers? Oh, hell no.
This whiskey is excellent.
Ginger. I like gingers.